All right, hello, everyone. Today is January 10th, and I'm calling this meeting of the Wakefield Youth Council into order. Now, for our first item, I'm going to take attendance. Please say here. James is absent. Nathaniel,
Here.
Annabeth,
Here.
Myself present. Thomas,
Here.
William said he'd be absent. Michaela,
Here.
Ahmed said he'd be absent. Madeline, Maya said she'd be absent. Sophia,
Here.
Juliana,
Here.
Olivia, said she'd be absent. Vanessa
Here.
and Erin. She said she'd be absent. Next is public comment. I believe we have several public commenters on Zoom with us today.
So we have Stephanie and Lily from TAB training on Zoom with us today. So since you guys are not in our agenda, you guys can speak briefly for like a few minutes about kind of giving a brief summary of what TAB training is and kind of your next ideas of how we could potentially implement this in Wakefield.
Sure. First, maybe we can introduce ourselves. Stephanie, do you want to introduce yourself first?
My name's Stephanie Sue. I am the coordinator for trainings for TAB. And I live in Lexington, so just down the road from you. So, and then Lily.
My name's Lily. I am the youth coordinator for TAB, and I live in Orange, Massachusetts, so Western Mass. And we chatted with some of you about bringing TAB to the community. And so we offer, I'll explain first what TAB is. TAB stands for Training Active Bystanders. We do community trainings. We also train people to be trainers, to train in their communities on active bystandership, what prevents people from acting and how to break that, what promotes active bystandership, community values, everything that goes into active bystandership. And Stephanie, do you want to talk about the plan that we made?
Sure, I can do that. So I want to also mention that Lily started out as a bystander TAB trainer in high school. So she was in one of our first groups of students to be trained, and just graduated from Smith College in December. So you can see that she's stayed with this for quite some time, and it can speak to how it's influenced her life overall. We talked to Vanessa, and I'm sorry, I forget the other person's name that we met with, but a few weeks ago about what it could look like to bring TAB to Wakefield. Over this last summer, we did a 3-day training with 27 students from 7 different schools in Western Mass. And it's this model that we kind of are hoping to bring to you guys is to do a training with your high school students or any youth that you want to include in that. I think Vanessa said around 35 students are what your goal is, and we would help you create what that looks like and get you guys trained, and then we would help you launch into your communities, your schools, and help you build a sustainable kind of program for doing this work.
Yeah,
moving forward.
I know some of our youth trainers last summer that got trained in a similar model went and did trainings in their high schools, their middle schools, elementary schools, community groups. So there's a lot of ways that then those youth that get trained can go into their own communities, whether that's different high schools or the Wakefield community in general. So that's one of the big benefits of this type of model.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, thank you very much for sharing this information with us.
I'll definitely stay in touch with you guys. I got your email earlier today, Stephanie, about the breakdown more, and we'll definitely be in touch for more meetings. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us or ask them now before we hop off. But I think what you're doing is fabulous. I just sent an email to Lexington, some Lexington people and say, do we have a youth council? I don't think we have one. This is amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we also sent some information materials, I believe, to Vanessa if anybody wants. Anything like that, please ask. We have a lot of information.
Yes, thank you very much. If there's nothing more on that front, next on our agenda is the approval of our December 6th, 2023 meeting minutes. So I'm gonna pass it over to Thomas.
Great, thank you. So last meeting was very successful. We approved the meeting minutes from November 8th. Then we discussed the school culture and bullying prevention initiative. We discussed what we could do, possible survey questions, and what both teachers and students can do to help increase or better school culture and prevent bullying. The Communications and Outreach Subcommittee talked about their continued work with Tree Plenish, which could possibly bring more trees to the, I believe it was at the WMHS, right? For Tree Plenish?
I think in the community as a whole.
The community, okay. And then Sophia updated us at the Recreation Department, and we discussed what we could do with the Albion Cultural Exchange to try to just bring more events and stuff for youth to do. We heard a bit about the Safe Routes to School or Safe Streets initiative, which is still in progress. Talked a little bit about Snow Angels, open town meeting, which had just recently happened. And that was it.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm gonna call down the roll. Please say yay or nay. Nathaniel,
Yay.
Annabeth,
Yay.
myself, yay. Thomas,
Yes.
Michaela,
Yes.
Sophia,
Yes.
Juliana,
Yay.
and Vanessa.
Yay.
Right, that passes unanimously.
I'd like to move to amend the agenda to add an item to discuss the financial literacy bill that is being discussed today at the State House.
Thank you, Thomas. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
All right, I'm gonna call down the roll to approve the amendment. Nathaniel,
Yay.
Annabeth,
Yes.
myself, yes. Thomas,
Yes.
Michaela,
Yes.
Sophia,
Yes.
Juliana,
Yay.
and Vanessa.
Yes.
All right, so it was brought to myself and Catherine's attention yesterday from Ahmed that today a hearing will be taking place at the State House in regards to House Bill 4199, which is an act relative to personal financial literacy. Ahmed is unfortunately not at this meeting today because he's actually en route to the State House for that hearing. So what that legislation that's receiving the hearing on today would do would increase financial education equitably, establish a mandated comprehensive curriculum for a range of financial topics, guarantee for personal financial literacy courses, which would mean at least one standalone personal financial literacy course in high school as a graduation requirement, and provide professional development opportunities for educators to provide the necessary resources to effectively teach this material. So as our state senator is Jason Lewis, who is the chair of the Joint Committee on Education, I thought it would be really beneficial for us to kind of discuss our thoughts on this today. And we also received information from Ali Houghton, who is part of the Savings Bank, detailing kind of the programming that they do on the front of financial literacy, talking about the student-run branch of the Savings Bank at the high school, covering financial literacy basics like budgeting and saving, and how loans work, and also in regards to Miss Simmons and Miss Houghton, who organized the Credit for Life Fair at the high school for the past 5 years, that gives career opportunities as well as budgeting, as well as the Kids Club at the elementary schools, teaching about the importance of savings accounts, and the Donald Garrett Foundation, which provides grants to public schools, private schools, and nonprofit organizations offering financial literacy education. So kind of all of this together, it kind of shows the importance of financial literacy, especially in our lives, considering that as young people, we don't necessarily have the exposure that we need to be successful in these fronts, kind of necessitating the importance of a bill that would mandate financial literacy education. So some stuff that we discuss, and I'm gonna open it up to everyone to see what we discuss. Talking about potentially writing a letter in support of a general financial literacy statement, not necessarily alongside this bill, because I believe we have to stay neutral in this. I would have to check up on that, Catherine. But
Yeah, that would be aligning to a certain bill,
Yeah.
but you guys can make a statement. And that would be considered lobbying, but if you make a general statement about the need for increased financial education and financial literacy for students in public schools, that could be something that would be acceptable. So that can be part of the discussion.
yeah, definitely. So what do we think about this in general about financial literacy? Yeah, Michaela?
I just think it's like really important to talk about it, especially at such a young age. Like I have two younger brothers, and one is 10. He's at the Woodville. He's in 4th grade, and he gets an allowance every week for taking out the recycling and taking out the trash. But the problem with him is he spends it right away. So I have firsthand experience, experiencing that. I'll take him to the mall and he'll spend all of his allowance right away. And I think we need to teach this younger generation about saving, and especially at the high school level, we're all, especially me, Ali, and Juliana, and we're all 1 or 2 years away from going to college, and that's a big step up. You have your own job, you have to manage classes. Not only that, but you have to manage your money, because a lot of kids are going out and buying their own groceries for college, and buying books. And you need to know how to manage your money, especially with student loans. And once we get to adult age, taxes, that's a big part of it. So I think it's really important that we teach it at a young age and introduce it in a simple way at a young age, but as you go on in your education career, make it a bigger thing. So but yeah, I think it's a great initiative.
Yeah, definitely. Juliana?
I do think the plan to implement financial classes as a graduation requirement was a great idea, because I know there's at least one financial class right now, but it's labeled as a discrete math class.
Mm.
I don't know if there are any others, but I know that's one of them. And not many people take it because they want to complete a different path. I'm in calculus right now. Most seniors are taking pre-calc or calculus instead of that discrete math class. And I feel like it doesn't rob us of the opportunity, but we just don't see that opportunity to take a financial class.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Annabeth?
At Galvin right now, they're doing sort of a win block program. So instead of having time to do homework, they're doing sort of a deep dive class into a particular topic, and you get 2 per quarter. And one of those is financial literacy. And I'm actually taking it right now, but I think it's a helpful class, although it's kind of hard to cram what could be an entire year of learning into a quarter of a year on 2 days every 6 days. It's kind of hard to do. So I think a class would help that. And I do think it's really important to learn about.
Yeah, definitely. And with the win block, is that something that you're randomly assigned, or is that something you elect to take?
Yeah, it's a little bit of random assignment, and if you don't have a certain class that you need to go to, then you're placed in a randomly assigned class. Yes.
Okay, so it's not like you chose to take the financial literacy class, it's more that you were placed into it?
Yeah,
So-
everyone rotates around it.
Okay, oh, so it's a rotational basis. Okay, that makes sense. Nathaniel?
So I think, we should definitely have like a financial class, but I also think doing it so that, because obviously everyone comes from a different financial background, and not only that, but also everyone processes information differently. So having a very complex and overarching topic like finance, and I'm also in the WIN class and we're doing like the stock market. So I think maybe, yeah, doing it, maybe trying to improve it in a way that's you really get it's simplified for students, and because everyone learns differently, so trying to figure out which way works best for a complex subject like that.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a great point, because it's definitely necessary to make sure that the experience is equitable to all students coming from different learning perspectives and financial backgrounds. I think that's definitely important. Michaela?
I want to kind of go off of what like Juliana said. Um, what I've noticed is that the financial literacy classes at the high school aren't very well advertised. Like I've never heard of like any kids taking it. So, I think like one of my friends took it freshman year, but like that, like it's not very well advertised, and I think that has to do with like maybe like how the teachers are putting it, like how they're teaching it. So I feel like the like also professional development like included in the bill will also help that. Just so it's like it's a credible class and you'll be able to get the most out of it.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely an important perspective. Like as a whole, I really appreciate the discussions that we've been having, especially in regards to like the complexity of financial literacy, given how important it is to our lives going forward. But it is at its base a very complex issue, like taxes or loans, things that we're going to have to deal with. But it's interesting because there's the expectation that we have to do that, but we're not necessarily taught how to do that by the resources that are responsible for that. So I think that that's definitely an important step forward to work towards endorsing like the merits of financial literacy in general. So I definitely think that that's something.
And
definitely-
increased financial literacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely making sure it's accessible to all students. Yeah. Does anyone else have any thoughts on this? Yeah, Michaela?
Well, I mean, like public schools, like when public schools were established, like back then, it was meant to train kids for factory life, and I think that's changing so much now with like the complex like world that we're living in now with like lots of like different like financial like systems like loans and like the banks and stuff like that. So I think the way in which we teach students now to go into their lives is much more different. And I think like we need to like change the curriculum like in our schools of like what we should be teaching our kids. Like I know the culinary class at Wakefield High is like so popular, and that's very important because you know you need to that's a basic life skill to have. Like you need to learn how to cook for yourself. Like you can't be ordering like takeout every night, you know, because that will also be spending a lot of money. So I just think that that bill is really, really important.
Yeah, definitely. I agree completely with what you're saying. Does anyone else have any other anything else that they'd like to say? All right, I'll definitely I'll be in contact to kind of discuss letter making to.
So you could ask the youth council if you can write a letter and send it around, and then we
Yeah.
can, and then, because it's not gonna be for another month.
Yeah,
We have a meeting, so you might want to ask them if they vote to
oh, yes, yeah, we need to.
allow
yeah.
you to write a statement if the Wakefield Youth
Yeah.
Council in favor of
All right.
increased financial literacy.
So I move to initiate the letter writing process in support of the merits of financial literacy education in our community and in general. Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, so I'm gonna go down the roll. Nathaniel,
Yay.
Annabeth, myself, yay. Thomas,
Yay.
Michaela,
Yay.
Sophia,
Yay.
Juliana,
Okay.
and Vanessa.
Yay.
All right, so that passes unanimously.
And so you can send that letter to the youth
Yeah.
council ahead of time.
So in regards to that, would that be more in the form of a press release, a letter to the editor, or would that?
So you're
be-
sending, I thought the idea was to send a letter to Senator Lewis.
Lewis, okay.
On behalf of the Wakefield
Okay.
Youth Council.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, and you can also, the communications sub team could put something out that they're in favor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a youth council member that just jumped on? Maybe not.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so yeah, I'll definitely work on that and then share it with everyone to get everyone's thoughts on that, definitely.
And then maybe at the next youth council meeting, we can have an update from Ahmed on
Yeah.
how the um process went at the State House. And I definitely recommend, and what we can try to do is send you all opportunities to go to the State House and as an individual, learn about the process of before testifying for a committee to move forward a bill. It's really, it's just a great process to see how something like, you guys have talked about later school start times or something can then move from a local level to a statewide initiatives that impacts millions of young people in the state. So it's great that you're had a discussion about this and wanted to provide some insight. So hopefully with Thomas's notes that we can put some of those talking points that were brought up here into that letter.
Yes, definitely. I definitely think that that's great.
It's definitely something, just doing the civic action project for many years. 4 years. I think I started it with your year. I
Yeah.
think was when you were in 8th grade.
And we
So that's
never
about 4
finished it.
years, right? Yeah, we didn't finish, but we started. So a lot of kids have chosen this as their topic. Of projects that they've done was adding financial literacy into the curriculum. And that's something I think every year on my team alone, I have at least 1, 2, 3 kids that choose this as their topic. So it's interesting.
That's
because
another
everything
thing we
that
can add in,
Yeah,
you can add into the letter.
saying, I've heard from students in my class when we've done the civic action project of like financial literacy classes are just like classes that kids feel are more catered to like more tangible skills that they need moving forward, like public speaking or like things of that nature that are kind of more like how to be an adult. Because in a lot of ways you are, like I'm not super far out from college and like I didn't have any class like this and now I have like loans and you have to fill out the FAFSA and all that stuff when you go to college and you are just kind of thrown to the wolves. So I definitely agree and it's something I heard a lot of in the 8th grade at least.
Right, and thinking about youth advocacy too, you're thinking about a lot of young people are preyed upon by credit card companies, by, cell phone, all these different places are looking at young people as potential or saying, oh, we'll give you a new car, no money down as soon as you graduate from college. And people get excited about a new car. I just made it through college. I'm going to be earning money and not realizing their student loans are about to come online and things like that. So, and students that don't go to college, there are other things that they might. So I think good that you're bringing this conversation.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that everyone's been saying. And I think that the takeaways that we've had from this discussion are really beneficial towards supporting the merits of financial education in general. So thank you, everybody.
And I do want to say, it's great that we have the savings, I said the savings bank, yeah, the savings bank, as advocating for this too, because actually Ally's speaking at the State House as we speak as well about this bill. So, we have some good business partners.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So next on our agenda is the school culture initiative that we've been discussing for the past couple of meetings now. So from the discussion that we had at our last meeting and kind of the questions and takeaway points, the positive school culture team at the Galvin will be taking that to formulate the school survey targeting the Galvin students and distributing it out to them to kind of gain the insight that we're looking for in regards to school culture. And so kind of the timeline for that is hopefully sending out the survey sometime in February or late January in order to hopefully, this is tentative, but, present it at the March 5th, professional development, to the teachers that day. And furthermore, Catherine and I will be, discussing with, guidance and the school adjustment counselors on how to kind of increase the, awareness around, the opportunities that they provide. Because a major insight from our discussion was that not many people, know how to, utilize the school adjustment counselors and kind of what they offer, and kind of increasing, the awareness around that. So,
Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, and just to, back on the first point with the Galvin survey, Mr. Collins brought up that it would be helpful to have, you kind of present some of that data that comes out of the survey. So Galvin and, even though it's a day off of school, any Galvin or high schoolers that are interested in, doing that, presenting the results, because we can add it with the youth risk behavior survey, some of those questions. So it could be a really, interesting learning opportunity, for the Galvin faculty. So we'll be working with Mr. Collins and myself. So
yeah, definitely.
that was a great discussion, and we just wanted to let you know that several things are moving forward because of that discussion at the December meeting. So what you say in this room has a lot of impact going forward in the direction of initiatives.
Is this survey gonna be at the high school too, or is it just the middle school?
We will send a version of the survey to the high school, so that
Okay.
if they choose to move it forward, if it's
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
that you'd like to see done at the high school, maybe.
I would love it. I think there's like what we discussed last time, like there's a big like problem right now with like student culture. Like I feel like kids aren't as involved. Like I swear, like I went to the home opener for the basketball game and no one was there. I was shocked. Like there was probably about 7 or 10 of us there. And I was completely shocked because it was the home opener but there was no one there. And I think it's like I think a lot of that has to do with like, we're turning into like a digital age now where everyone is connecting through social media and through cell phones. And I think there needs to be more like a face-to-face connection with people. So I think like, planning more events and like planning more like fundraisers for different like teams or clubs or stuff just to get like everyone involved would be pretty important.
And even like at the base level, just like kind of changing the norms that kind of make people more likely to sit out of stuff for various reasons, just because, and kind of like that school culture to make sure that everyone feels welcome and, accepted in any sort of event. Making sure that those, and the kind of like people feel, inclined to come in certain ways. That they see these opportunities as like growth experiences too, that they will look back on and really appreciate. So I think that that's definitely
So
important. to
maybe
bring up.
that can be something that's brought up in the meeting too.
Yeah.
At the high school.
Yeah, definitely.
Is anyone online, WCAT? We hear things, but we can't see anything. Oh, Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, sorry.
Oh, we just wanted to make sure that we knew who was here, so that's good to know that Aaron is also here. So when you're doing votes, you
Yeah.
can include Aaron.
All right, perfect. So if there's nothing more on that, next up on our agenda is the open mic night at the Albion Cultural Exchange. So, Sophia.
Yeah, so I think we're almost done, like, or at least I'm getting ready. I think I need more people to help. So if anyone's interested, I think getting it, like advertising it and like promoting it, would definitely like get more people interested so they can come. And
Can you talk a little bit about more what you're envisioning? What is the open mic night at
Yeah,
the
I
Albion
think-
Cultural? Because people might not know.
like maybe like sharing like poems or like writing and like words like I know that my English teacher, Miss Hughes, like she does a lot of this like writing stuff. Maybe I can talk to her about it, but I think like sharing out writing for this might be like a good idea. And maybe we can do it at the like talk to kids in like the middle and high school about it. I think.
We could probably make flyers too
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
post it around the school.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
very
can
easy.
involve the communications and outreach
Yeah.
subcommittee to work on social media and paper-based.
yeah, I was gonna
promotional
ask
items.
Madeline, but she's.
Yeah,
Okay, so a flyer needs to get done. What else happens at a open mic? Has anyone ever been to an open mic night before?
I've been to one and it's supposed to be like a comedy night too. So like people get up and like share jokes and stuff.
So it can be anything.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole idea, is like
Yeah.
an open, so it could be comedy, what else?
like writing, sharing poems.
Writing.
Stories.
I've seen people get up there with guitars and
yeah, I was
sing,
just gonna say
Yeah.
that.
ukuleles. So comedy, poems.
Could you do something like informational, like a PowerPoint or something like that?
I don't see why not. It's an open mic night. I don't know if we'll have we could, I guess we could bring a computer. So,
I mean, yeah, it could just be like someone talking, but like maybe, yeah, something with information or science, I guess, yeah.
That'd be cool. I've never seen that before, but like that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be great.
yeah, especially if it's, it's like a mini TED Talk. That
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a fun idea
Yeah,
too.
TED Talks, yeah.
Hey, you,
Um,
TED.
In the music department, we will have gigs at the Albion Cultural Exchange sometimes, and I'm not sure if it has like the abilities or the capacities to support something like a digital PowerPoint or Google Slides. But I think the idea of having like an informational talk would still be really interesting.
So Erin, would you, because you're involved in the music department, do you see students maybe performing instruments or doing solos or anything?
That could definitely be a possibility. I think it would also just really be a part of advertising it and making sure that people are aware of it so that they can go to the event and perform what they might want to.
That'd be great if you could help advertise among the music department and department students too, once the flyer gets ready.
Definitely. I can check in with my music teacher and I can ask her who would be interested. I can like touch in with that next time.
And Sophia, how would like people sign up to like perform? Like, is there gonna be a Google form made?
Yeah, I think maybe we can have like flyers and have a QR code for the Google Form.
Yeah.
Or is it like, or could, I'm not sure how it works, or if people just come in and, would there need to be like reservations for that?
I think
Or-
maybe because like if we need music or something, then we
Oh,
could.
yeah.
What you could do too is, I've seen it done where sign up ahead of time to perform or so we have the equipment you need or something
Yeah.
like that, and so have a Google form,
Mhm.
but then say also open to drop-in if
Yeah.
time allows or
Yeah,
something like that.
can
So
do
you could
that.
do that, so you're kind of keeping it open, because
Yeah.
I know I went to the spoken word, the story slams at the Albion Cultural Exchange, and I did not go expecting to speak and tell a story, but I got inspired when I was there, and then I ended up telling a story. So it can be really inspiring when and I think that's the point of the Albion Cultural Exchange, and that's why they were so excited to have the youth council really talk about what is this building in our community and how can people use it to how can it be a cultivating factor for culture in our community, and for youth. Culture is such a big identity piece and arts and everything. So we want to really use this opportunity for the youth council to kind of shine a light on the ACE building and to shine a light on it being a resource, and that youth can actually sign up to utilize the space and things like that. So I think that was the point with Sophia being the liaison to the recreation department, and in the recreation department running the ACE building. We really wanted to make sure that that's clear.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be in touch more once we get the flyer up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when will we have the flyer by, Sophia?
Maybe next week because it's supposed to be January 31st.
So yeah, because that deadline is gonna come up faster
Yeah.
than we expect. So I'll talk to Madeline about when she's planning for the next communications
Yeah, I
meeting.
can join it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we can have a flyer by the beginning of next week, that
Yeah.
would be great. And do you know how to set up a I can even set up the sign up form if you send, so it's
Yeah.
linked to the youth council.
Mhm.
Okay.
And Sophia, like, we do gymnastics together, so we could always like post up the flyers like before practice one
Mhm.
time,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, you just need permission. You guys know.
We just,
to
permission
get-
from administration, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll be in touch, Sophia.
I know Dan McGrath also has promoted some of our past events through his like newsletter through.
Yeah, the network,
yeah,
at the rec department.
Through rec department, so I think maybe he could also help us push it out.
Yeah, I can talk to him about that.
Yeah, and I've worked with Jen McDonald before, and she's been helpful to post them in the kiosks around town too.
Yeah,
and
that's a good
So-
idea.
Since you're liaison with Jen, once Sophia gets the flyer done, will you
Yeah, I
work
can
with
reach
Jen?
out to her.
Yeah, because she's great about that, and you can get a press release in the paper too.
Yeah.
Perfect, that's a good idea. All right. Is there anything else on the open mic night? So next on our agenda is the Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King Day celebration that will be hosted by the WHRC on Monday. Michaela, I think that you had some stuff to talk about in regards to this.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go over the event. So it is going to be at the Galvin Middle School at 10 a.m. On Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's really a celebration of you know, Martin Luther King Jr. and all he did, and also Coretta Scott King. She also was a big part of the civil rights movement. But there's going to be lots of presentations, there's going to be guest speakers, we're gonna give out some awards. There's going to be a student art exhibit, which I think is really cool, especially with the youth, showing off our talents, and really contributing to this special event. There's also going to be performances. So really a lot of cool presentations, and Sherry was eager from the Human Rights Commission. She was eager for all of you guys to come and support the event, maybe possibly like volunteer. So if that's something you'd want to do, you can always email me, and I can email Sherry. She also emailed me flyers. So if you want to take a flyer, I can print those out and you can hand them out or post them around like small businesses if they let you. But yeah, it's really an amazing event. I think it's going to be pretty cool. They've also partnered with a bunch of different organizations around Wakefield. They've partnered with the METCO program, WCAT, Wakefield Public Schools and PTOs, and the Clergy Council. So really a lot of people coming together just to celebrate the day. I know it may just seem like a day off from school, but it's really an important day to celebrate, how far we've come in civil rights. So but yeah, I hope you guys can make it. I unfortunately won't be able to make it. But I'm hoping to hear good things from it. So yeah, you guys can talk to me if you want to get involved, or if you want to hand out flyers, I can do that. I can put those out too. So
Yeah, on my next follow-up email, I'll definitely include that information alongside people pointing to your contact information if
Mhm.
people want to get involved.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
I've seen it out on the youth council social media, so great job.
All right, so next on our agenda is the Snow Angel shoveling program. So we had a first great day of volunteering for the shoveling program on Sunday. Yeah, we had a great volunteer turnout for that day and a lot of appreciation going all around for our Snow Angel volunteers. And we're gonna continue promoting it via social media, making sure that we continue with on Instagram and Facebook, and then also throughout the town in the kiosks that we've been running as well. And it's been on the school announcements as well for the past week now, I believe. And we had a release in the paper, I believe, as well. And we've been able to get actually a lot of attention to those posts in the several thousands. So yeah, so those posts have been able to, because they've been getting reshared and liked by numerous organizations in the town. So that's been very helpful to us. Juliana, do you have any updates on your end?
Not really, just maybe tell volunteers to search up a Google image of the house before, so they know exactly where walkways are and if there are multiple walkways, because I know for one house that I went to. Actually that Vanessa, you and I will probably be alternating shoveling. Her walkway goes up around the back and it's not the easiest to find if you don't like know exactly where it starts.
That's a really good idea,
Yeah.
Juliana, is to Google image, and also maybe touch base with the senior if they happen to be home to make sure that that's. Because then we got a phone call from a senior where, oh, they really just need their side door to get out, so then. There's just a little bit at the beginning, but the fact that we have 45 seniors signed up for this program. 45 seniors. And we have over 24 youth volunteers.
A lot.
So that's wonderful. And that's several of you in this room were out there shoveling on Saturday, but you all were able to recruit even more. So we still have about 7 or so seniors that we need to match up. So we'll be in touch soon with those addresses, especially if you know someone that lives near one of those homes. That would be great.
Yeah, and we can definitely send out another social media post in regards to those specific areas if people live in those areas and are willing to volunteer with the program.
And I do have to say, I got a phone call from the person who Nathaniel shoveled for. And she said could not say enough great things about having someone. She lives alone and she doesn't have family nearby, and to have to how much it lifted her spirit to see Nathaniel and his brother out there shoveling. So, and we've heard that, and the senior center's gotten a lot of calls too, thanking people. So you guys are doing great work and we really appreciate it. And thank you, Juliana, for taking the helm. And as some of you, like Annabeth, your house is, the house you were assigned is kind of far from where you live, so you kind of have to, it's not always easy, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And just what.
Oh,
you
yeah,
said about-
you had a steep driveway.
Yeah, I had the steep driveway, but it's just like that appreciation. It's just kind of why we do this program. It just reaffirms that just helping the seniors of this town through our volunteer efforts. That's the point behind all of this. So yeah, definitely thank you to everyone, and especially thank you to you, Juliana, for helping to organize this so much. Yeah. Are there any other points that anyone need to make on Snow Angels? All right. So next up is liaison presentations and updates. So I have an update from my liaison with the town council. So I'll be meeting with Julie Smith Galvin tomorrow to discuss our collective priorities and kind of the town council priorities as well, especially going after town meeting as they're ramping up other projects as well. And hopefully I'll be attending their February meeting as well. I haven't been able to attend their meetings currently due to conflicts with my swim practice, but hopefully I'll be able to do that going forward. Does anyone else have any updates from their liaison position? Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the process, and Ms. Langlois are still in the process of getting some information on basically why there's no recycling, and then why there's no recycling and composting, so then we can use that to maybe take some students to draft an email or a letter to go to the administration. So yeah, we're in the process of doing that.
Yeah, that's great to hear that you're following up on the discussion that we had in regards to the recycling program at the Galvin. So thank you for staying on that front. Yeah, are there any other updates anyone has? And in regards to liaisons as a whole, if you're having any trouble with communicating with your liaison at all, please reach out to myself, Catherine, or Mr. Collins, because we're here to help you on that front. Catherine, did you have anything to say?
No, I know at the next meeting, Olivia Wall would like to give a presentation on the Wakefield Police Department with her liaison role. So, and hopefully maybe the chief or someone else from police leadership will be able to join her.
Okay, that sounds perfect.
So that'll be exciting to hear some of the things that the police department is up to and how the connection between Wakefield and the police department.
I know that in the past when we've had presentations and discussions with the police, that we always come up with the very insightful takeaway. So that's definitely really beneficial to us as a whole. Moving on to communications and outreach subcommittee updates. So unfortunately, Madeline's not here to provide her updates, but I have a couple of things that I want to discuss on the communications and outreach subcommittee front. So I'll be in touch with her to find out when the next meeting she's planning on holding it. And also we're hoping to run a press release kind of talking about our mid-year updates in regards to the different programs and policy goals that we've set for ourselves. Since our last press release, definitely talking about Snow Angels, our school culture initiative, as well as now talking about the financial literacy initiatives that we're going after. And I don't think I have anything else on that end. Our social media has been in great shape with our consistent posting that we've been able to manage. And we've been getting a lot of attention as I just said with especially with Snow Angels, that has been a really great it's been received very well by the community on that front. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to mention about communications?
I mean, I just say like when the youth council like posts something on Instagram, like repost it.
Yeah.
Because that's really how like posts get around on social media. It is reposting. I have a public gymnastics account, and really like when I see like the shares people do, like that's the ones that get a lot of views and likes. So just make sure you're reposting every time, you know, the council posts something, just so it can get around.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely really beneficial.
Yeah, I noticed when the town of Wakefield shares youth council posts, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the other thing too is if you're at an event, so say some of you are gonna be at the Martin Luther King Day event on Monday, you know, get a picture of a couple of you or some of the great things that you're seeing at the event, so we can then post, so not just letting people know of an event, but then when an event happens, we've
Yeah.
got those photos,
Mhm.
those live photos, because that's, people love to see them.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
also ask Sherry if she could take some photos too and send them so we can post them.
Great.
Yeah, definitely. And I know we did that with Snow Angels, and those were great images that we shared with on our social media. So definitely. So next on our agenda is the finance working group update. So yeah, we definitely need to get this started up considering that budgeting season. Oh, we do have some updates. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Vanessa.
Well, Catherine and I spoke briefly about, well, first of all, the grant that we, got, like, we submitted a proposal, we should be hearing back in,
At the end of January.
okay, at the end of January. So hopefully we'll hear back with positive news. And then also we spoke about reaching out to Julie Smith Galvin.
And I was able to do that.
Okay, and then I don't think you ever got back to me about if she responded or anything.
Yeah, so I just spoke to her and she is, so we can talk after this, but we can send her. What she's thinking is that she puts the youth council needs within the town council's budget. Because it's kind of a sub part of the town council. So we can put that budget proposal together, and they're not, they might be up at the next meeting, so we have to get that right away
Okay.
in there, but it's not gonna be a huge ask, but so you all have small amount of funds. So if you're doing an outreach event, you can buy supplies or things like that. It's not, I don't think it's a big ask for the youth council. And also to continue to have Mr. Collins on as an advisor in future years. You all think it's valuable to have him and have that connection with the school.
Especially like since we're youth and like we're in youth public Wakefield Public Schools, I think it's a good connection to have like a teacher there, just so students and teachers can connect together and see like teachers' input on why like certain decisions are made and stuff. So
I think he also brings like good insight, like another perspective, because we see like from the student side of like what's being like given to us, but he kind of might know some of like the planning behind things or more information about things.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I think it's gonna be super insightful when the civic action
Yeah.
projects start coming through.
Right.
That we're going to be able to better synchronize the civic action projects at both the middle school and the high school level with the work of the youth council, and then hopefully take some of those initiatives forward this summer or next year on the youth council. So
Yeah.
even just hearing about the financial literacy, it'd be good to reach out to some of those youth that
Yeah, I think that's definitely valuable, yeah.
looked, that proposed that, and let them know that this is going on at the State House. So
I definitely think that that's a great way to show that those projects are really being turned into actual, or at least forming actual policy. Yeah. So next on our agenda is announcements. So I have a brief update to share. So Maggie Schaffer from the Warrior Cleanup Crew reached out to me earlier this week about potentially running another spring cleanup together. However, especially considering that as we're moving into the springtime, we're going to be more focused on civic action projects and our other policy goals. I don't think that we would be able to necessarily provide the logistical support that we provided last year with the planning and the preparing of the actual event. However, if she's looking to run a spring cleanup as part of her organization, we can definitely provide social media spotlight onto that and help with their like volunteer outreach like through the schools as well. Yeah. What do we think about that?
I think that's a good idea. That's like literally exactly what I was thinking, so.
All right. Oh, yeah.
I
Julia?
think it'd be really helpful to have a spring cleanup or at least another cleanup sometime this year, since we missed out on the Veterans Day one.
Yeah,
this year
definitely.
around.
yeah, but if that organization is
Yeah, more
dedicated
tailored to that,
to
yeah.
organizing cleanups, then you all as the youth council can promote it and,
Yeah.
and really get the word out.
I don't have any other announcements on my end. Did anyone else have any other announcements that they'd like to share?
I just have a quick announcement, next Wednesday, so, apparently you guys have a lot of fans all over the state. People are constantly kind of remarking about the Wakefield Youth Council, and a lot of communities are looking to model their youth council after ours, especially after what they've seen on social media and on our website. Next, the city of Malden is moving forward in putting a youth council proposal to their city council. Next Wednesday at 2:30, their city council chair and some youth in Malden, their Civic Action Club, are meeting. And I'm going to that meeting, but I would love to bring some youth council members to that meeting to talk about the Wakefield Youth Council. And I think it's best if, it's some of you were there, if possible, and I can help out with transportation, so let me know if that is an issue, but if anyone, I'll send a note out via email to see if anyone would be interested in going to Malden.
What time did you say it was?
2:30, so basically, I would just get permission from a parent or guardian to be able to drive you, and then we go right from school to the meeting.
Yeah, I saw your email regarding that. I haven't had a chance to respond just with
Okay.
I was looking at my own schedule for that day, but I do think I'll be able to go.
Okay, all right, well, it'd be great field trip and a great opportunity, another good social media post too, to be able to show that Wakefield is helping other communities bring youth voice to the table. Yeah, Malden was, even when I talked to them more about what we were doing, they just loved it and are big fans of you guys on social media too.
And this isn't the first time that another town has kind of shaped a youth council after us. Definitely seeing the work that we do, and it's inspiring other communities to start other youth focused events. Yeah.
Did you say this was next Tuesday?
Next Wednesday.
Okay.
Next Wednesday, so it's
The
the
17th.
17th at 2:30, so if anyone knows now that they can go or are interested, let me know, so it'd be great to have a nice team.
Yeah.
And I'll treat you to hot chocolates.
Does anyone else have anything on that front?
I was just wondering, Sophia, do you know what time the open mic night is going to be?
I think we decided around 5.
Okay.
Oh, is it at 5,
Yeah,
not 6 or 7?
no, because I can't make it around 6 or 7, so I think that'd be a good time. I don't know if that works for anyone else.
What do people think for a time? Do you think 5's a good time, or do you think it should be later?
The only thing is a lot of people get out of work at 5.
Yeah.
So there could be some traffic and maybe like if parents are gonna drive kids, because we wanna get like the youth involved. So like maybe if parents are driving kids and they work from 9 to 5, it could be tough getting kids there, but
Yeah, and especially like as, I'm not sure if winter, I know that my winter sports season is over by, or actually, no, not by the 31st. But just after the 31st, I think that winter sports are still going on. I know that a lot of people are still
So
in practice. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
So-
why I was thinking like evening time,
yeah,
but even if you can't be there, if you can do the prep work and everything.
Yeah.
So I just think 5 is like, puts it at dinner time and stuff
yeah, it's
versus.
kind of, yeah.
maybe
Yeah, I
like,
think
6:30 to
the-
8.
yeah, 6:30, like 7 o'clock, like I feel like that's
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, the school play, it's
Done by then, right?
it's done, I think like I just say the end of January because it's close enough, but yeah, we have rehearsals till 5, so I think,
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
the
not-
play is the week before.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
looked into that, Catherine. I
Okay.
think that, I don't think it conflicts.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's,
yeah.
25th to the 28th.
yeah, the play will be done. So maybe some legally blonde cast members can.
Yeah.
Reenact,
Redo
yeah.
some of their.
That'd be great.
I would love to see that.
see that.
Sort of, about that, a note I jotted down, like, as we're moving on to item 7 is possibly I could contact some of the teachers who, run Drama Club and get them to sort of advertise this open mic on the Google Classroom. Cause that might be a good way to reach kids who would like to perform music or something else, I don't know.
Yeah.
But more artistically inclined kids than the average middle school, I guess.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely great. I think that would be a great promotion. Yeah, thank you.
So if we know, so Sophia, Annabeth is gonna reach out to the middle school arts teachers. We've got Erin connected to the high school music program. She's gonna do those class, so.
Maybe I can get some English teachers to post.
I
on, like,
think,
a
yeah,
Google
if you do
Classroom.
work with Miss Hughes and the
Yeah.
rest of the English teachers, that would be great. And then, oh, the other thing is too, that we didn't discuss is, should we have, like at open mics, it's usually it's almost like a coffee house vibe, so there's like coffee and tea and waters and hot chocolate, what do you all think it's
Yeah.
important to have?
Hot
Yeah.
chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah,
Like,
That's-
maybe like cookies and snacks too.
yeah, I think that that's definitely like a big driver of some people coming to.
Things that
this
appeal to
kind of-
kids.
Yeah.
And sweets and treats.
Okay, so we'll make sure we put that on
Mhm.
the flyer, that we'll do hot chocolates and stuff. And we'll just run that all by Dan, but I
Yeah.
think we should be able to.
You could have a hot chocolate bar, like with like
Yeah, we should.
sprinkles and marshmallows and.
Ooh, what do people think about that?
Yeah.
A hot chocolate bar, that does sound good. All right, so someone's gonna have to send me a list of supplies.
Just a quick question, do you know, for performers, is there like a time limit or something on how long?
I would say maybe like 2 minutes, 2.5.
Okay,
Yeah, Annabelle,
Just like what date is that? I don't know.
the 31st. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to this event a lot. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to say?
Just one last thing, I feel like it would also be helpful if we maybe put it in the school announcements in the morning.
Yeah. I think in the high school and in middle school, good idea.
So if you write up an announcement, Sophia, Annabeth, could you get that to the office at the. Well, maybe after this meeting, Sophia, you can write a to-do list.
Yeah.
And send that to all of us
Mhm.
for what action items need to happen for the. Open mic night and who's responsible for each thing and when it's gonna be done by, so.
I
does
can do
anyone-
that.
Yeah, action plans are really helpful when doing these events, so everyone's and then you communicate it, everyone's on the same page with who knows, with. What's responsible. for.
Yeah, definitely. So our next meeting date. So the next half day is February 7th. I don't know if we would have a virtual meeting within that time or if that's a good amount of time to connect with our liaisons. And since we're also doing we have the MLK Day and the open mic night, I think it might be just best to hold off on having another meeting until the 7th. Do we kind of agree with that?
Mm.
Yeah, and that would be an in-person meeting here at WCAT likely. So is there anything else that anyone would like to say before we adjourn? All right, there's nothing else. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Let me call down the roll. Nathaniel,
Yes.
Annabeth,
Yes.
myself, yes. Thomas,
Yes.
Michaela,
Yes.
Sophia,
Yes.
Juliana,
Yes.
and Vanessa.
Yes.
Perfect. So, all right, we have adjourned unanimously. Thank you all very much for this amazing meeting. We've got a lot of stuff accomplished today. I really appreciate everyone's insights and we'll be in touch.